What short daily recitation practice can reverse all our negative karmas and downfalls? Why should it be recited every day, or at least on the 10th and the 25th of each lunar month? Why is the Bodhisattva vow vitally important to reversing downfalls and purifying? Why are the 5 bonding aspirations of the 5 Buddha families so empowering? We answer these questions and end with a beautiful short recitation of the concise Bodhisattva vow and 5 bonding vows, which purifies all negative karma and downfalls.
Three short daily practices help us purify our negative downfalls and karmas daily. These recitations are encouraged for most Buddhists and required for those who have taken the commitments. The first, Refuge in the 3 Jewels, is for all Buddhists. The second, the Bodhisattva commitment and vow to help all beings, is a must for Mahayana Buddhists of the Great Vehicle. The third, the 5 bonding vows of the 5 Buddha families, is for most Vajrayana Buddhists and necessary for anyone with higher initiations.
Together and separately, these 3 very short daily recitations purify all our downfalls and negative karmas and remove our obstacles, both external and internal, and renew our aspiration. They are normally recited aloud in a short format.
The first is Taking Refuge in the 3 Jewels. It is a daily practice for every Buddhist. It reaffirms that our sole refuge is the enlightened Buddha, the Buddha's Dharma teachings, and the community of Buddhists.
The Bodhisattva vow is the vow that defines what it means to be a Mahayana Buddhist, a Buddhist who aspires to enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. It is the most important of all practices. It is through the methods described in the vow that we can accomplish the goal as a Bodhisattva of attaining enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. Even if we don't state the vow in our daily practice, we at least practice the 7 practices of a Bodhisattva. To ensure we avoid downfalls and negative karma, we make and live this vow.
For serious practitioners of the lightning path of Vajrayana, we also purify these downfalls and negative karmas with the 5 bonding vows to the 5 Buddha families. In making this statement daily, or at least twice a month on the 10th and 15th of the lunar month, we remind ourselves of the method to accomplish enlightenment. The 5 bonding vows are almost a how-to, or a reminder of what we should be doing each day. Regardless of the Buddha or Yidam you personally practice, we always remain mindful of all 5 Buddha families and what they mean.
None of these require initiation, but if you have initiations, they are mandatory. If you don't, they are beautiful aspirational practices that purify our karma and remove our obstacles.
When you take an initiation, this will be the vows you recite with the teacher, although they will be a longer form, and they might be recited in Sanskrit, Tibetan, or other languages. You can add your name to personalize it if you wish, either your birth name or likely your Dharma name if you have one.
If you don't have initiation, this is still a beautiful, empowering, and purifying practice. You are making this aspiration in front of the 3 jewels, whether you have an altar or not. You imagine they arise in front of you. If you have a guru or teacher, you are also making the promise in front of your teacher, even if your teacher is far away.
These 3 practices also represent the 4 R's of purification, which are respectively reliance, regret, remedy, and resolve. First is rely. Our refuge is our reliance practice. We rely on the 3 jewels of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
Second, the regret, which is the statement of confession. We are making this statement in front of the 3 jewels, which helps us purify negative karma. Part of the confession is also a promise to refrain from these downfalls in future.
The third R is remedy. The remedy is the Bodhisattva vow. This purifies all karmas and downfalls.
The fourth R is resolve. The 5 bonding promises to the 5 Buddhas is the resolve practice. Through this aspiration, we not only progress positively towards accomplishments, but we remind ourselves of every step. We resolve to be perfect in our practice. In the beginning, we will not be, but like a mantra, we repeat this daily, so that we always have the promises in the top of our mind.
The 5 aspirations are to each of the 5 Buddha families, who represent all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and mothers of all times. In Buddhism, the 5 families represent a mandala, or map of the universe. These each represent 5 wisdoms which overcome the 5 poisons of ignorance, anger, pride, attachment, and jealousy. By taking the aspirational vow, we are basically stating we aspire to eliminate all 5 poisons and attain the 5 wisdoms.
The center family in the mandala is the Buddha family of Vairochana Buddha and Akasha Datvishvara, who purify ignorance with the wisdom of Dharmadhatu. The east is the Vajra family of Akshobhya Buddha and Lochana, who overcome anger with mirror-like wisdom.
The south is the jewel family of Ratna Sambhava and Mamaki, who overcome pride with the wisdom of equality.
The west is the lotus family of Amitabha and Pandaravashini, who subdue attachments with the wisdom of discernment.
Finally, in the north is the important activity or karma family of Amoghasiddhi and Green Tara, who use all-accomplishing wisdom to overcome the poison of envy or jealousy.
With the vow, we state the supporting practices. For example, the vow to the jewel family is to practice the 4 generosities.
Recite along with us now the all-important Bodhisattva vow, which includes refuge and the confession of downfalls. This is an important step in purifying negative karma. Then, recite with us the 5 bonding promises to the 5 Buddha families. Finally, we end with the all-important 4 immeasurables and the bodhicitta dedication. To this, you can also add your own noble requests and aspirations.
I take my bodhisattva vows and refuge to renew my aspiration. I go for refuge to the 3 jewels and confess each of my negative actions. I rejoice in the virtues of migrating beings and hold with my mind a Buddha's enlightenment. To Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, I go for refuge until I am enlightened, and to accomplish the welfare of myself and others, I will generate the mind of enlightenment. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, I shall invite all living beings to be my guest, to engage in the pleasing supreme practices of enlightenment. May I attain Buddhahood to benefit living beings. Now I recite the 5 bonding aspirations to the 5 Buddha families. Time to empower my practice. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please listen to me. From this time forth until the essence of enlightenment, I shall generate the unsurpassed sacred bodhicitta, just as all the protectors of the 3 times have ensured their enlightenment. I shall uphold firmly each of the 3 moral disciplines: moral restraint, accumulating virtuous dharmas, and working for the welfare of living beings. I shall uphold from today onward the vows arisen from the Buddha family, the unsurpassed 3 jewels of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I shall uphold purely the Vajra, Bell, and Mudra of the great supreme Vajra family. And I shall uphold purely the master commitment. I will always make the 4 types of gifts 6 times each day, the pleasing commitments of the great supreme jewel family. For the pure great lotus family, arisen from great enlightenment, I shall uphold each of the holy dharmas of the outer, the secret, and the 3 vehicles. For the great supreme action family, I shall uphold purely each of the vows I am endowed with, and make as many offering as I am able. I shall generate the holy unsurpassed bodhicitta, and for the welfare of all living beings, I shall uphold all of my aspirations without exception. I shall liberate those not liberated, deliver those not delivered, give breath to those breathless, and lead all beings to nirvana. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings constantly dwell in joy, transcending sorrow. May all beings abide in equanimity, free from hatred and attachment. I dedicate the merit of these aspirations and vows to the cause for enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. Please pacify all sickness, poverty, misfortune, fighting and quarreling throughout all directions where I and others live, and cause the Dharma and all good fortune to flourish.
May all beings benefit.